good that you joined me, and just wanted to ask everyone to join us. Really, I think it's going to be more a good discussion. I would like to hear your challenges and really to hear from you. What are your challenges raising money in Europe? I would like to explain what are the key differences between raising money in Israel and raising money in Europe. And then I would like to ask you really what are your challenges and really questions that maybe I can answer.
Sure. So it looks like raising money is more difficult than it appears. I've seen people do it, and they were quite skilled. And I think the process is like really complicated, and probably one of the things that I was able to see is that they build momentum from a small deal, from a small investment. They're able to get to like around A.
Yeah, so first maybe I will give a little bit, maybe I will introduce to people. I don't know how many people we are. I think we are 4 currently. Hey, Shlomi.
Hi, Nag.
It's good that I wanted to also invite you to this session. I think it's good that all of us will be here, and also to give you the opportunity also to ask questions. And I encourage the other people also in the group now in the session to join us and asking questions and really what they had, like their experience working with Europe VC, and I can maybe give them some tricks and tips how it's working with the European ones compared to working with Israeli VCs. So maybe a little bit in a nutshell about myself. I'm in the early stage of Deutsche Telekom VC fund. I'm based out of Berlin and Tel Aviv. So every few weeks I change between Tel Aviv and Berlin. Our agenda is to invest in Tel Aviv and across Europe. Our ticket size is C to A, so it's between 300K to 1 million. And usually the rounds will be that we're going to participate is 1 million to 4 million. And then our model is really matching. So we are not going to be the lead investor. We're going to be the co-investors. And we would like to work with really financial driven VCs out there, especially if it's Israeli. We would like to work with Israeli VCs. And if it's in Europe, across Europe, it will be people who are based in the country that we are investing in, that they can really work with the startup as we do. In Israel, we have Texel that is doing entertainment, and we have a C-Value that does retail, and we're still looking to invest still this year. Usually we do between 3 to 6 deals per year, and our aim is to do 2 to 3 in Israel and the rest in Europe. And maybe in my experience, I was, before I joined the Deutsche Telekom early stage fund, I was with Cenovo, a Munich-based venture capital driven by financial gain. And then before that, I was with Signals Venture Capital, a CVC of Signal Iduna, the 5th largest insurance company in Germany. In both of them, I did A rounds, so 1.5 million to 5 million in a company, and now I'm doing a little bit early stage, so really more early, and really I can have the opportunity to really help the founders and accelerate the growth. For maybe a few thoughts that, like, before we even going to start the questions, that I think that is really important to point out that usually I get between, 10 to 20 decks a day or cold requests, if it's emailing or LinkedIn messages. And it's fine. I like it, actually. There is in the past that you had to ask for an intro, and this is what was the standard. Please ask for an intro, and then we're just going to see it. So it's not my case with me. Actually, a cold email is totally fine. We even invested in a few that did a cold email, so it's fine with us. But when you are doing a cold email, it's not just going to be, hey Nate, please find attached my deck, best regards, and the name. It's really needs to be personalized, really understand why you're sending the deck to me, understanding what are the focus, where are we investing, which stage we are investing. If you are like want to raise 20 million, I guess I'm not the best partner for you. And also if you are doing a B2C, I guess I'm not going to be the best partner for you. And really, it could be really short description, why it's me why you are sending me the deck, what you are doing really short, and why we need to have this call. And this is what I'm expecting also from the founders, because this is what will capture my eye and it will say, okay, I would like to have a call with them. And then this is one, and with working with also the second one is you need to understand who are you approaching. If it's a CVC or a normal VC in Germany, you really need to explain to them why you are from Israel, want to get money from them. And because usually they know that there is a lot of money out there in Israel, even more than in Europe. And you need to explain why they know that you already did you sent the decks over in Israel. So if it's Viola or Bessemer or different funds or Geffen in Israel, and now you are reaching also to Europe. So you need to explain them why the go-to-market, even if you have the go-to-market to US, you need to explain them why it makes sense for them to invest in you and really why it's the best partner for you in Europe. This is also something that I saw across a lot of founders that reached out to me when I was in Europe, and they said, okay, we want to have a call with you. And then I asked them, did you speak with the Israeli funds? And then they said no, and then I find out that yes, and most of them said no. So really be transparent about it and say, yes, we worked, but we think that you are the best VC to work with in Europe, and this is why we would like to have a call. This is also something that I need to point out. Regarding working with a CVC, you need to also understand the thresholds that the normal VC has. It doesn't apply for a CVC, a corporate venture capital. It means that we don't need to take a 10% share out of your round. We also find with less, with 5%, and the core value that you would like to partner with is because we want to bring some transfer knowledge and know-how and work with you and provide you with the roadmap that we can work together. So it's not just financial gain, it's also really working together and maybe producing a new tool into the market. And this is what we do in Deutsche Telekom. We're working with early stage startups, and then we're working with them on the roadmap, and then we are providing a new tool into the market. This is another one. And then also like there is different kind of what you need to prepare. So when you are reaching VCs in Europe. So you really need to send them all of the materials. It's like not just one page. I prefer it's not just going to be a one pager. I really want to have a grab for what you are doing, where you are currently, what is the stage, what is your vision, how much you want to raise. Sometimes also I had a problem that people are sending me, we want just to raise I don't know, like $500,000, and it will be enough for a 12 months run rate. And this is also something that usually I like, that it will be 18 months and above. I think especially in the COVID situation, I think 18 months, between 18 months to 24 months, this is the best option that you have, especially in the COVID, that the long cycle of the sales cycle of the companies are longer now. I think the company needs to have 18 months of run rate. And then another problem that I see, that there is a lot of companies that are like all the time are fundraising. And this is also something that is like, I think that you need to really, the founder, the CEO needs to take time. I heard people say between 3 to 6 months So I can tell you that in Europe, if in Israel they are moving faster, in Europe they are moving slower. So it can take even between 6 to 12 months. So really, you need to do it as a sales funnel. You need to say, this is the company, this is the VCs that I want to talk with, to put the list of the VC arms, then write the deck, and then write the email that you want to approach them. If you can get an intro, is a better one, and then send it out and have the material be ready for them when they ask for it, because they're going to ask for it if they're going to, the deck is just the beginning of the process. Then they're going to ask for the financial model. They're going to ask for references, calls with your customers. They're going to ask for pilots that you did and also talk with them. So they're going to ask for all the materials that you have, and be prepared to send it over, because also most of the time in Europe, what they don't like is when you're to wait for it. I'm just going to add them. Yeah, thank you, Ofer, for joining.
Hi, how are you doing?
Thank you. And then, so be prepared with all the material. When they ask for it, please send it over, and it will be they're gonna see it in the best eye. Also, one point that I saw happening a lot compared to Europe, when I'm scheduling appointment with the founders, usually I see them in a car or in a coffee shop, having a call with me, like my first intro call. In Europe, it doesn't matter a lot. It does matter, but it also matters for them where you speak from, how you speak, how you handle yourself, and how you present yourself. And this is really, I found out that it's really valuable for them to how they present, because in the end, they're going to take you to their customers and to the network, and they want to know that they can really show you to their customers and to the network. So really be, somewhere that it's not loud, that they can hear you. It's going to be representable, that you can speak and answer the questions, and not to be in the car or in a coffee shop. Yeah. I think this is the main points that I wanted to that you will have as a takeaway, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you have.
I have one. Regarding COVID-19, do you think that there is investment closing before face-to-face meeting, even in video?
Yeah, so we did 4 investments in video, in Zoom meetings. I was investing in one company that is out of Berlin, but I was in Tel Aviv at the time. And we did, I think, 10 sessions, Zoom sessions for 1 hour. We did the term sheets through the Zoom meeting, and we closed the deal also like this. And this is also regarding my colleagues did from Australia, a company from Australia, Zoom meetings. So for us, it's not a problem. I think it's something that we will get used to it, not meeting the founders. I think meeting the founders personally is a better way to do it, because you have some chemistry working and understanding if you would like to work with the founder, because working and investing in the founder is something that is, I think, the most important for me even. And meeting him personally, I think it's important, but the situation that you cannot meet him because of the COVID is not going to affect us of not investing in him.
Okay.
So I know that it's not just me. I know that most of the VCs, I can say, are open to remote investments.
Oh, do you see investments also in pre-seed and seed as first investment, or only the A rounds and further?
So we are doing a C to A. So this is our typical one. This is the sweet spot. We're putting between 300K to 1 million, but we did actually this year because of the opportunities that came. We did also checks of 1K. So these were companies with pre-pilots. Usually we would like to see pilots that are running and really asking your customers for references calls to understand what is really the pain point that you are fixing and how is to work with your product, and even how to work with the founder. And then currently we did 3 tickets this year that there were like 100K giving to really early stage companies. So I think there is a lot. I think the COVID didn't affect that much the investment. I think it actually, I saw this year more investment opportunities out there that were really good. And I think also in the pre-seed area.
Do you think that going through this direction, not only for the investment, but to collaborate with Deutsche Telekom, is something that you see from your experience from other companies that not only get money, but also, using Deutsche Telekom connections and customers and the ecosystem?
Yeah, this one is a great question actually, because I started in VC in Signal Iduna, as I mentioned, in the CVC, and then I switched to a venture capital arm, and then I switched again to a CVC, and then I found out that in VC, when I need to do a due diligence, when I need to call a customer, or when I need to provide my company with customers, in a normal VC, it's not usually the way. It's like harder to do. In Deutsche Telekom, when you approach me and it's a good fit for Deutsche Telekom, I can just introduce you in 1 week to the business units that are relevant for your business, and then they can provide you not just with a pilot or a channel partner, they can also provide you with knowledge and if an infrastructure if you need. And I think this is what is special about the CVCs. That can really not just about Deutsche Telekom, but all of them I think provide most of the things that you as the early stage founder need. And this is exactly what we do with Texel, our investment in one of our investment in Israel. We invested them when they were like seed round, and I think we already have with them 4 to 5 pilots running just this year. And they are like these early stage companies usually do between $500,000 to $3 million revenue, and I can tell you that a big chunk of it is coming from Deutsche Telekom this year. So my investment, when I did it in venture capital in the normal financial, it's seeing how big is the market and what is the exit point. But when we invest in Deutsche Telekom, actually, we can see, I also look at what is the potential working with Deutsche Telekom as a customer or channel partner.
So you see your structure open for a design partner and pilots.
Exactly. So when we also, before I invest, always in the back of my mind is not just the return and the exit point that I will do. It's also what I can bring value to the founders and also for Deutsche Telekom. And I'm not going to invest in the company that is not going to make sense for us to work with and provide them this pilot or the channel partner. And this is usually when the beginning, when I have a first call with the founder, I understand what is these challenges and if I can help him through Deutsche Telekom overcome these challenges. If it's a knowledge that he doesn't have, if it's a execution that I can provide him from Deutsche Telekom, if it's a pilots like revenue that he doesn't have, and all the network that he needs in Germany especially. And this is what the platform from Deutsche Telekom is providing him.
I put it, ask it like this way, like, Amir from Texel, I know him very well. I think I gave him one of these first LOIs that helped him to open the market. Some other Israeli startups that are here and make business in Europe, I think I gave them I opened for them doors because one of my roles is to be the head of innovation in Maccabi Tel Aviv basketball. So I'm kind of, but from the other side, what I'm doing here, I come with my own startup, or that we have a new venture, and we dispute resolution by community wisdom, and we create kind of a very unique way to resolve disputes, especially disputes. And what we are really looking for is, we are looking for a design partnership for the new markets, because the structure of the market is a big change, and the Israeli market is a bit behind in many ways. And we are looking to the ones, like we open doors for the Israeli startups to give them LOIs to begin some ventures. So we're doing stuff with the Israeli legal justice ministry, but we are really looking for companies and places where we can create we are more looking, I think, we believe that if we find the right design partners, money won't be the issue. It's more issue of show that we have a really good case and we have a really good partners in the market. And especially, one more thing, we believe in German market because they have a very good traction to the European market, and we see the European market as really a big opportunity.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially the German market is a huge one that also likes, I think it likes a lot of Israeli founders. So I see it in Deutsche Telekom that we're working a lot with Israeli founders, if it's in investments or if it's partnership with them. And I think it's something that is really valuable for both sides. And then I think, like you said, pilots, I think when you said pilots, I think it's one hand to really understand how to work with Deutsche Telekom in pilots also. You need to understand that working with Deutsche Telekom, I didn't know it before I even joined Deutsche Telekom, that it's a long cycle. And you really need the patience to work with them, to understand how long it is. It's not going to be closed in 2 months, 3 months. It could be even going to 6 months. And you need to patience to work with them. And this is why also when we invest, we can also shorten much more this sales cycle of providing you with the opportunity to do a pilot with Deutsche Telekom, because I'm connecting you usually straight to the people who are really the relevant business units into Deutsche Telekom.
Interesting.
But, exactly. Lomi, maybe you have another question. I see here that what are the interesting yours? We see interesting. Okay, so the early stage fund of Deutsche Telekom, usually we invest in B2C. We used to invest in B2C a lot and B2B, of course, but currently we are more focused on the B2B angle. We would like different it's really broad in Deutsche Telekom because in the end it's 100 billion company. So you can assume that we have a lot of business units that are doing different stuff in different industry. So it will be really from smart city, smart home, connectivity, quantum computing even we are doing, productivity tools, HR tools. So it's really cybersecurity, of course, that it's really most of our hubs. We even have a hub in Beersheba that we are focusing on cybersecurity. So it's really a broad one that we can look at.
You're located in Israel?
I'm located between Tel Aviv and Israel. I'm half Israeli, half German. Currently, I'm located in Israel, and my time is between Israel and Tel Aviv, Israel and Germany.
Sorry, Shlomo.
No, just a quick one. There are some people that says that going with the investment of early stage with a strategic investment such as Deutsche Telekom may maybe cause some, hold the company from doing business with other. So, for example, Verizon, AT&T, other companies that if the business is all about operator or cellular provider. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, I know this assumptions, and I heard it a lot of times. And even when I was in singles, we got impacted by term sheets that we gave because of this issue. And I think it's not necessarily the truth that you work with us, or if you're going to be on your cap table, that you are not be able to work with advisors or other operators. I think the other way around, actually. My friends are all of the guys that you would like to work with in the telco industry, if it's SK or if it's Telefonica. So I am good friends, and I'm talking in a weekly basis with all of these guys, because in the end we are looking in the same industry, and we are looking in the same startups, and we provide feedback, and we are like provide the knowledge. We are sharing knowledge on these companies. So I think also from our angle, when we are coming, it's not really influencing in the company. So it's not like we are buying 50% out of your company. We are just taking between 5 to 10% out of your company, just to have this relationship between the company and Deutsche Telekom. And it's not really it's not giving us any power into the company. And I think the same applies with different CVCs. These CVCs that, they want to take 25%, 20% out of your company, and then it could be a little bit of issue from your side. But when it comes to the 5 to 10% out of your company, it's not a big issue.
Shlomi, I can tell you one thing, because I work with many startups that work with companies in Germany, and one of the things that happens at the sales cycle and the business models and meeting the real market takes more time than what people think, and they feel that they're on the edge to get a better, higher value, so they don't want to go to another round of raising, and then they reach to a point and they run out of money because they meet the real market. So you have to be very sensitive. You know that you get attached to the right market, but you don't really get the influence on it on the company is not fast as you think sometimes, and you have to consider it that it's not will be the last how to say it, the last round before you meet value.
But as of you said, in the end, it's not we're gonna have an influence. It depends, of course, on the founder. There is founders that really want to work with us after we invest, and he wants to provide. He likes that we will provide him the best network that we can. And there is founders that say, okay, we are a little bit back, and then when we will need you, we're gonna work for you, and it's totally fine with us. For us, it's totally fine that you're going to take this space, but also if you would like to closely work with us, that mostly 99% of the companies do, because in the end, our early stage companies, that the revenue is really small, and we can accelerate the revenue and provide them the revenue to the A round, the big A round that they want to do. And then we are not providing just the money. I think this is the big point. We are providing them the pilots, the technology, the knowledge, and also the network that we have in Europe.
And there is no doubt that working with such a huge brand is a game changer for any startup.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I think from my experience looking at the VC that we invested and looking into CVC, I can provide more value add to the startups than the normal VC, I think. And it's like we always tried in VC also to provide value add a lot, but it's more complicated because in the end, you don't have a 100 billion company that you can sell the product to.
What is the best way to approach to come to show you, to present for you a project?
Exactly. So you need also to understand that Deutsche Telekom, it's a huge company. It's like a huge elephant that you really need to understand that there is different parts moving, and a lot of the time they don't connect with each other. So it's not a big transparency between them. So I can meet with you tomorrow, and then you're going to meet with another colleague with me a month later when we will never know about it. So really to understand which business unit to approach, I think this is the key for you. And because you can also mess around and they're going to send you between people, but they don't have really the capabilities to talk with you and give you the, even to do anything with you, like partnership with you. So I think the best way, like I put my LinkedIn, and then you can reach me in the LinkedIn, you can reach me via my email. And then if it's also not an email, if it's not even for me to invest in, if it's not in my focus area, I always happy to help founders to find the right person into the business units in Deutsche Telekom, and then connect them with